If you want to get back with your ex, you have to avoid these 6 common pitfalls. What you have to understand is the reason people get back together, or actually the reason people don't get back together, it's not because of lack of feelings, it's not because of effective communication or any type of accountability letters or stuff like that, or no contact. It's because they are making those mistakes. And hopefully you're watching this video early enough so you can adapt and make sure you can learn from mistakes of others and maximize our chance of getting back together. I'll explain everything after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
I'm a strong believer that if you are meant to be together, you will end up together. However, it's very hard to assess whether you are meant to be together. And sometimes we are in love with the potential, or we fail to recognize the reality of things. And that's why I put together a quiz for you to assess whether you have any chance of getting back with your ex. Don't get me wrong, if you take the test and you have a high score, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get back together. The point of this test is to rule out that you have no chance of getting back with your ex. Take the test, it's completely free. It takes 3-4 minutes to complete. The link is in the description. So you have an idea whether you have a chance or not of getting back with your ex. Now, let's start with the first mistake, rushing the reconciliation. You have to understand that the way you process the breakup is definitely not the way you should sort of understand and strategize your recovery. Because the way we react after a breakup is like, I lost him or her. The quicker we get back together, the quicker I won't feel the pain, right? So it's important for you to avoid this urge to jump back, to speak with them. It's important as well. So first of all, because your ex at this stage, at the beginning, they don't want to hear from you. And you've probably tried to convince them, to talk to them, write them letter, etc. That doesn't work. Because you need your partner to reflect. You need your partner to go through a phase of reflection and sort of processing the breakup. You also need to take time for you to assess what needs to change, to assess if you can change. Because it's very simple. To get back together, something needs to change. And this thing, and it could be many things, could be lifestyle, could be attachment related, could be communication. There's so many things. That doesn't happen overnight. And that doesn't happen like in a week or two. It takes some time. And if your partner left, they are assuming, maybe for wrong or right reasons, we don't know, that throughout the relationship, it didn't change. Nothing changed. And so why would that change now? So it takes a bit of time for you to do the work, for them to accept and process, right? And I will change, I understand now, that doesn't work, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job. Otherwise, you wouldn't watch this video. That doesn't work, right? Bringing your partner to a phase of, I see there's potential, I see there's an alternative, takes some time. So don't rush the reconciliation. The longer it takes, the easier and the stronger your relationship would be. Second element is ignoring past issues. Very often, especially if your partner is if you're the dumpy and your partner is the dumper, I don't like this term, we tend to forget the past issues. We are focused on getting back together. But we forget that actually, if I were to ask you 6 months ago, before you guys broke up, okay, from 0 to 5, how satisfied are you of your relationship? And you will probably tell me 2, 2.5 maybe, okay? Maybe your partner has another experience and they would give another rating, but I don't think, if we are completely honest, that 6 months before the breakup, you were completely fulfilled, that you were 5 out of 5. I don't think that's the case. And if that's not the case, let me know in the comment section, because honestly, I do believe that even if you don't make the decision to end the relationship, you know there's something. And you also are a little bit dissatisfied with the relationship. So it's important to have this reflection, understanding the unresolved conflict, the issues, the problems, The Gottman Institute, Dr. Gottman said like 69% of problems in couples are always the same. So what are those problems? How can you address them? What can you do, right? Because otherwise you end up together, getting back together, breaking up again. That's not what I want for you, okay? What we also do when we look at the relationship, especially when you have an anxious attachment style, we look at things with pink tinted glasses. We idealize a partner, we idealize the relationship, we put our ex on a pedestal and so on and so forth. No. Bring yourself back 6 months ago when things were not that rosy, right? And look at things and discuss things. And that's why it's important to discuss with people, not keeping that reflection to yourself. Discuss with a trusted friend, with a therapist, whoever, so you can sort of rationalize and use that rational part of the brain to process information rather than the emotional part of your brain. It's very important to do that. Third mistake is overcommunication. There is this idea that the reason we're not back together is because my message wasn't strong enough, clear enough. They don't know how much I love them. They don't understand that I can change. I have this plan. I'm solution-oriented. No. That has nothing to do. When you send a message, when you overwhelm your ex with messages, you make it worse. Let's put it this way. There's no correlation with the amount of message you exchange and your chances of getting back together. And actually, it's the inverse correlation, especially if you're dealing with an avoidant, for example. What you have to do is to establish a balanced communication. If they send one message or reply one message, if they send two messages, it has to go on their terms at the beginning. If you are the one leading the way, pulling your ex toward you, it's going to be very tricky. Remember that they took the decision to end the relationship, so they need to take the decision to start again. What you have to do is to bring them where you want to be, but they need to feel in control. If you're the one pushing and driving, they won't feel in control, they'll feel pressured, and they will leave you again. It's very important. Fourth element is when people stop thinking about themselves, focusing again on your partner, when you neglect personal growth. And so the experience of breakup is awful. You're depressed, you don't sleep well, you don't eat well, you can't go to work. There's tons of things that will impact your life. So it's important for you to use this time away from your partner as an opportunity for personal development that will help you heal from this emotional pain, that will make you experience this as painless as possible, but also grow from this breakup. You have two options right now. And it's not about getting back together or not. You have two options. Either you decide to look at things from an emotional perspective. You decide to do the same things, to continue with the same patterns, to continue feeling the same way. Maybe you feel inadequate, not worthy of love, etc., etc. Or, actually, that's the option you need to choose. Or you need to grow and learn from this. What shall I do right now so it doesn't happen again? It's super important. It's kind of a bit of a cliche, but you never fail. Either you get back together or you learn. It's always about learning. The failure would be to do things the same way. The failure would be to look at things like, let's get back together as quickly as possible. I don't want to dig. I don't want to open the can of worms. No, you have to open these freaking can of worms. Maybe you don't want to deal with those insecurities. Maybe you don't feel worthy of love and you've had relationship problems all your life. Well, this is the time right now, my friend, to take action. And it has nothing to do with your ex. Your ex, this breakup was just a trigger, right, for you to do this work. The pain that you're suffering right now, the pain that you're feeling, these intense emotions are a sign for you to do the work, right? And so one element of this is to develop a form of independence as well. Because I know sometimes after a breakup, we have to re-establish or sort of recreate a new life. It's very hard. You've been in a relationship for many years. Now it's kind of like, what do I do? In that context, it's about understanding how you can develop a sense of independence, how you can nurture social interactions, build new friendship, do new things, etc., etc. Really treating yourself, nurturing your well-being, because it comes first. You are the most important person in your life. That's not your ex. Fifth one is unrealistic expectation. Most people, no, not most, but a lot of people, when they get back together, when they are considering getting back together, they have unrealistic expectations. They assume that things will resume the way that you left, that the intensity, the intimacy will be the same. They also assume that they can expect, or they should accept, everything from their partner, because you put like getting back together at the top of the priority list. No, that's not the priority. Your priority is to have the relationship you deserve. Maybe that's with your ex. I don't know. But you have the only goal, the only objective is to find the relationship you deserve. And it's about establishing healthy boundaries, having expectations, right? And this is why it's important, number 4, to work on yourself. And maybe you've lack confidence, you feel you're not worthy of love, etc. Work on those things. Raise your level of expectation. Because the reconciliation phase is not so much about him or her willing to get back with you. It's also about you. Whether you want to accept getting back with them as well. It's a contract. In a relationship, whether you're married or not, it's a contract. Right now, they decided to end the contract, and therefore you're focused on like, they need to take action. No. This new phase is also on terms that work for you. So also something that you have to picture is that your past relationship is dead, it's over. You have to create a new one, right? And when you do that, you have to also have clear and achievable goal for the relationship, right? Don't set things that are far-fetched or hard to measure. So have this clear idea. Again, it's very much like transitioning from an emotional point of view to a rational point of view. This is what will make you successful in your relationship. 6th one is to forget about trust. So the thing is, trust, I mean, you can look online, but there's not many ways to rebuild trust. It takes a lot of time, right? It takes time and consistency. And so the process of recovering a relationship is that you both assess whether you can trust. You can trust the process, you can trust your partner. It's kind of, is it safe? Can we progress further? Will my needs get met? Will you meet my needs? If you say it in English properly. And so many people assume that they can trust their partner once we're back together. We're back together like before. I can trust. You can make me happy. I'll make you happy. Everything is great. No. It takes a bit of time. And as I said before, it's not that the slower the better, but rushing things will prevent you from establishing healthy and strong foundation. So it's not resuming your relationship. It's not resuming. You're starting a new one. Okay, let go of this old relationship. This relationship is not working. Didn't work. At least from your partner's point of view, it didn't work. So stop trying to resume this. It's not working. Create a new one. Quick recap. Don't rush. Don't ignore past issues. Don't overcommunicate. There's a lot of don't. Don't neglect negative. Don't neglect personal growth. Have realistic expectation. Don't forget to build trust. Obviously, it's easier said than done. And if you need some guidance, if you're completely lost, I've released a handful of discovery calls with me. Usually it was done with Elizabeth, but I've decided to release some in my calendar. So have a look. Potentially, if you're lucky, you're going to have a slot with me, because I have just a handful of calls in my diary available. Have a look in the description and let's have a chat. Let's discuss about your situation. Let's discuss about how, to gain clarity, and maybe on those elements, things you need help with, and have some guidance or help or insights. I'd be more than happy to have that chat with you, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye-bye.